Hello and welcome to How to Virtually Wholesale Properties from Anywhere Fast. This is what we're going to be covering here by Real Estate Funnel Systems. My name is Erik Bee. I'm excited to be here with everybody today. We got a really cool training coming up here. So this is, we're going to be covering quite the gamut. And I know for a lot of you guys, wholesaling is a really hot topic. It's always been a hot topic. It was a hot topic for me 15 years ago. And I'm going to be sharing exactly how the game of wholesaling has evolved and what we're doing in the virtual space, how we're able to take this game of wholesaling and go anywhere and create a business with no borders really fast, actually. So this is going to be really fun. So what is wholesaling? We're going to cover right from the beginning. What is it? The 101 questions. What is wholesaling? How do we do it virtually? Boom, we're going to cover it. Building and communicating with your team. You'll find out through this training that in order to do all of this, it's critical on how you maneuver with your team and how you build your team and interact and communicate with your team. So we're going to cover that in great detail. And gathering information from sellers. Of course, as you know, in the game of wholesaling, it's a lot of it has to do with how you interact with sellers. So we're not going to be talking about necessarily the marketing to get your phone to ring. That's in a different class. But once your phone is ringing, or if you're talking with a seller, how to gather the proper information so you're setting yourself up to win that transaction. So we're going to go over all of those details, submitting offers. So exactly like, hey, what do I do once you get an agreement going here with your client or the seller? What now? Okay. Well, we're going to be showing you exactly how to fill out the contracts and all of the different paperwork that goes along with the contracts. It's not just a single purchase and sale agreement. There's a couple more things that go along with this wholesaling game that for your protection. So we're going to go over all of the different contracts, how to fill them out, why they're necessary, and make sure that you're just really comfortable with it. So we're going to go through that, and then once you get that signed contract, now what? So we're going to answer that question. We're going to say, hey, we're going to now that we got that signed contract, we're going to deploy that out to our buyers list, and we're going to get an end buyer onto our transaction so that we get our money, they get their transaction, they get their shot at making their money and through the rehab process or buy and hold or who knows what they're going to be doing. But us as a wholesaler, as soon as we get to the closing table and all the paperwork gets done and the closing happens, we get paid and we're off to our next one. So we're going to go through all of those different steps. Again, this is a 5-step program. You can see here with 5 different chapters. And each one is going to be full of detail. And so buckle up, get ready, take your notes, make sure that you have your pen and pad, because there's certain things here that are going to be really important for you to kind of take some detailed notes. And I also want to show you, I'm using some cool new technology that I'm really excited about as a trainer here is I've got my little iPad as my whiteboard here. And so I can quickly just say, here, let's try this. Hello, everybody. And a little smiley face. So you can see how bad my drawings are. But I will be able to use this as a whiteboard and also to illustrate through contracts and things as we go through this training. So my goal is that this is a fun, interactive, and very informative, straight to the point, full of action steps for you to really take this wholesaling game to your market or to whatever market you want to. That's the point. Whatever market you want to. So whether it's the market you live in or another market across the country, or like me, if you want to start opening up several different markets. So I'm currently doing this in 15 separate markets across the country. Okay, so I really kind of nailed this down, and I'm approaching the scale with these techniques. So that's what we're going to be going through. Now, there is some downloadable content here. As my son would say, the DLC, the downloadable content. That's where the good stuff is. Okay, so if you stumbled across this training in a free way, maybe YouTube or through a webinar or some other channel, then the downloadable content's probably not going to be there for you. Okay, just so you know. But I would highly encourage you still stick along with this training, because it's the same training. It's just you're not going to have the downloadable content. If you want the downloadable content that we're going to go over right here, just know it is available for you. It is for the paid version of this training and everything else. So you can feel free to reach out, ask for that if you want it or whatever else. But the overall training is going to be the same. So if you stumbled across here, I just know that you're in the right spot. I'm excited that you're here. So this is the downloadable content that we're going to be covering. The deal analyzer. So the deal analyzer that I use out in the field, I'm going to share that with you, and the purchase and sale agreement. So I have a deal analyzer. I have a couple different deal analyzers that you're going to hear about, but the one that's included in this course is simply the calculator that I use that tells the net profit, and it really helps me analyze what is the appropriate offer. And it also has a client net sheet. So how much would they net if they were to take my cash offer, or what would they net if they were to fix it up and then sell it, or how much would they net if they were to just list it. Okay. But for this training, we are going to be focusing on the cash purchase strategy, because that is what is conducive to wholesaling. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you and going through my deal analyzer and how to fill out the purchase and sale agreement. Okay, and the cool thing is that the deal analyzer and the purchase and sale agreement are connected via the Excel file. So there's some auto populating features in there, and it just makes it more efficient, fast, and speed is the key. Okay, so the affidavit of memorandum. Excuse me, I'm not saying that quite right, but this is a security instrument that we use to make sure that our position with the county is secured once we get a purchase and sale agreement. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how to maneuver that. When do you want to use it? Do you use it all the time? How does that go? I'll be going over that. 101's the phone scripts. Okay, a big part of wholesaling is actually just interacting with the sellers on the phone, and laying the right expectations so you're setting yourself up to actually get the deal. Okay, so I'm going to be going over the phone scripts that we use, and of course there's different levels. I say 101 because of course there is 202 and 303. It's a progression of negotiation and everything else. The 101 phone scripts are excellent. They really are. And the 202 isn't necessarily better. It's just more technique layered in. So once you kind of master the 101, which is the one that you would really want to master, then you can kind of evolve into the 202 script and the 303 script, where it's just more layering of psychology. But the 101 script is it's the best one, and it's the one that I highly recommend for everybody. And then the wholesale package, like how do you get that together for your, now that you have a property under contract, how are you going to get that out to your buyer so that they can make a quick decision so that you can get paid? Okay, we're all connected here. So we're going to be going over each one of these steps in great detail. Okay. If you have any questions, please leave some comments below. I'm going to be interacting through this and obviously answering questions later on down the training through comments and things like that. So, okay, there are some bonuses that I would love to talk to you guys about that I'm going to be sprinkling in here. So more towards the end of the training, I'm going to be going over, the key things to overcoming objections, right? And that's a technical thing where that's the dance of the negotiation and how you're handling the phone calls. There's a lot to be won and lost there. So overcoming objections is going to be a big one. Then the simplicity of virtual property analysis. Okay, so doing a good analysis on the property also is a huge component into whether it's going to be a successful wholesale or not. If your numbers are wrong, forget it. Garbage in, garbage out is what they say. So keep that in mind. We're going to go over all of that. And then again, the legal protections, how to keep yourself protected in this game. Okay, so, and this is the part where I'm going to lay down a disclosure, and I just got to be very real and honest with you, which I'm always, is that, hey, I am not a licensed attorney. This is for information use only. double check, triple check everything that I say. Anything that you gather out of here, of course, it will help you, and it's excellent information. But just keep in mind, we all hold responsibility for our own actions. Double check if you get anything out of this training. Make sure that it's relevant in your state. If there's a technique that you're questioning or not sure, just double check. Okay. At least you'll have the right questions to ask as a result of this training. Okay. And I'm just going to say the vast majority of everything in here is universal on all levels, state by state by state. But I just have to lay down that disclosure. Make sure you do your own due diligence and not just blindly trust anybody, whether it's me or anybody else. Just make sure you do your own. Okay. Nobody's here to mess with you or mislead you, but we all have our own ownership. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we go through here. Then, real quick, I'd like you guys to have some confidence in your trainer. You're going to be spending some time with me here today. So, real quick, I'm going to kind of go through why am I relevant to this topic. Okay, my name again is Erik Bee. I have been a real estate professional my whole life. So I'm just about to turn 40, and I got my real estate appraising license, believe it or not, right out of high school. So I graduated high school in 99, and in 2000 I got my appraisal license, and I started working underneath my father, who still owns and operates an appraisal firm. So I essentially chose real estate as my trade in life, if you will. And so I got my license, and I appraised alongside my father for the first 6 years of my life, or professional life. So right through 2000 through 2006 is when I stopped appraising. If you guys can remember, that was a major shift in everything. In appraisers, we had the front row seat for that mortgage meltdown and everything that went along with it. So during that time, I then got my broker's license, and I was kind of just a jack of all trade in real estate, and that's kind of what you had to do. You had to survive in real estate. So I was doing traditional sales. I was doing appraisals when I could. And I also then started doing the buy, fix, and sell, right? And so I fell in love actually with the buy, fix, and sell business model right back then in 2006. So I also met my mentors back then. And they were just starting on their education company path, and their results were tremendous. And so I really was studying significantly underneath them. Than Merrill and Paul Asajian, a lot of people know them now, connected to Fortune Builders, the real estate education company. But those were my early on mentors in the game of real estate. And so I just carved it out from there. I became a speaker and a trainer for Fortune Builders. I spoke all over the country, live events, big, small, huge stages to, intimate rooms where we would just dissect the process of real estate. Okay. And I did that for all across the country for many, many years, like 4 or 5 years. I then transitioned to the head of marketing and acquisitions for CT Homes in Southern California here in San Diego. And that's where I ran all of the direct to seller marketing and acquisitions there. So we were doing high volume of transactions. And I did that for 4 or 5 years. We were doing, between 80 and 100 transactions a year under my watch. And what that led into, if you were to look at at one point I started adding up how many seller appointments I've gone on over the years. And it's somewhere around 2,000 seller appointments. I have been doing this a long time, and I really found my niche in seller appointments. I just love working directly with sellers and creating transactions on that spot. So, you guys are in good hands. I'm now the founder of Real Estate Funnel Systems, and we're currently investing in 15 different markets across the country. We have clients all over the country where we not only consult with them over their marketing and acquisitions and scale of their business, but we do done for you marketing, and we also have different courses and products along the lines of how to be a better marketer and acquisition professional in the realm of real estate. So I'm really passionate about what I do. I love it. And as you guys will see as we go through this training, this is my wheelhouse. I love wholesaling. This is what lit my fire originally, and what I've been doing for like almost 20 years, 15 years, so just a long time. Anyways, enough about me. If you guys want, feel free to ask any more questions. There's a lot to the story of how I got to where I'm at now, but regardless, everything has to do with real estate transactions, how to do it virtually, and get into the game.